So how does the staff weapon actually work? You'll find out right after this. Hey everybody, I'm Taylor and I'm Stargate Guy, where I talk to you about everything and anything Stargate. Today it's another episode of How It Works, and we're talking about the Montauk Staff, more commonly known as the staff weapon. The staff weapon is the most iconic weapon associated with the Jaffa and the Goa'uld, simply because every Jaffa uses one, like in every episode. In fact, the people behind the scenes had a little arsenal of different staff weapons because they were so common in the show. The staff weapon is 2 meters tall and projects a bolt of plasma energy that causes severe trauma to the person and is so hot that it leaves burn marks on solid surfaces such as trees or blast doors and can cauterize blood instantly. Meaning that if you get hit with one in the chest, not only do you have severe trauma and you're dead, but also you have a giant black hole in the middle of your chest. And yeah, that's going to take a lot more than aloe vera in order to fix it. The staff weapon is kinda-ish accurate. For example, during the demonstration of Ryak versus Samantha Carter, while he was demonstrating the effectiveness of a staff weapon, he hit 2 out of 3 times on a log about the shape of me, about 60 or 70 yards away. This is not exactly effective when a P90 was able to deliver every shot to the log, cutting it in half at that distance, and is capable of 5 times greater that distance easily, while being very accurate. In that same demonstration, Colonel Jack O'Neill described the staff weapon as a weapon of terror, which is kind of a fair assessment. See, I theorized that when the Goa'uld was basically the masters of the galaxy before we came along and kicked some snake butt, they really did not have a lot of competition as far as warfare is concerned apart from each other. The only other species of human did not have a lot of technology except for a few, and even then a couple of them bowed before the Goa'uld in one way, shape, or form. See this thing about a theory with the Tolans and how that happened. This means that the Goa'uld staff weapon did not need to go through a lot of revision in order to become better than any other weapon. Unlike human weapons like the P90, which has several evolutions in order to get to that point, I mean, we did not just go from spears and clubs to a P90. There was a lot of steps in between. However, the Goa'uld for the longest time did not need to make those steps. The Goa'uld staff weapon was more than enough to take care of most enemies, therefore, why bother changing it? The Goa'uld staff weapon has 3 main parts: the head, the body, and the tail. If you notice, it kind of resembles a Goa'uld symbiote, but very loosely. And similar to a Goa'uld symbiote, the head opens up into 4 parts, revealing the actual emitter where the energy actually comes out. The staff has 2 different triggers that seem to be right next to each other. One to open and close the head, and the other to actually fire the device. At the base of the head, however, it is powered by a liquid naquita core. This liquid naquita core should theoretically last forever, but we know that it can be depleted, such as when Jack O'Neill used the core in order to power a power booster device that allowed him to dial the Asgard in Season 2, Episode 15. It would make sense that this naquita core did not provide a tremendous amount of energy all at once, because then it would risk exploding, and we all know how naquita explodes. It's not that pretty. Therefore, I theorized that in order to be a little bit safer, and because we've never seen a staff weapon explode, that the liquid naquita core puts out a small amount of energy constantly, and that energy is then stored to be used as a staff weapon blast. This would explain why in only once out of all of Stargate do we see a staff weapon be fired in rapid succession. That is Braytac, by the way, in case you've forgotten that part. I theorized that the power that the naquita core puts out near the base of the head is taken down the shaft to the tail and is housed in a reservoir at the base of the tail. That blue light indicator that looks kind of like a cool crystal, that is what I theorized to be an energy reserve. That energy reserve goes into a compressor or an accelerator, that long blue part at the base of the shaft, and when someone pulls the trigger, it releases that compressed energy into a bolt of plasma energy that is projected from the staff in order to hit, hopefully, the enemy. This theory contradicts a diagram on Stargate Wikia if you like to do your research like I do, but if you go as far as who put that diagram on there, it's not exactly a credible source. Go to the person's website and you'll know what I'm talking about. Just click on the word adult. The Goa'uld staff weapon does seem to affect how the Goa'uld do battle, especially with each other. How they line men up to create firing lines, similar to how our colonial troops did battle a few hundred years ago when they had muskets that would only fire 3 rounds a minute. The Goa'uld staff weapon is not exactly accurate, therefore your best bet is to line up your enemy and try to shoot as many as possible before you yourself die by getting blasted by one of these things. The Goa'uld staff weapon can also be used in close quarters combat, and we see that quite regularly. People use it similar to how a person would use a bow staff in martial arts training. Also, the base of the staff is fanned out in order to be used as a club when needed. Overall, the Goa'uld staff weapon can be effective with using the right tactics and against the right enemy, and has been effective with the Goa'uld in establishing a massive empire over the course of thousands of years. Let me know what you think about the Motok staff in the comments section down below, and if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. Great videos are coming out every week where I talk to you about everything and anything Stargate. You can click right here for how it works on the Goa'uld hand device, or you can click right here for some awesome Stargate content. And until next time, I'll see you on the other side.